Welcome back to Salam Media. You're still tuned in to News and Views. My name is Salailo Makwidir, and coming up next, we have a very special guest joining us on the show. We'll be speaking with Mohamed Kaka, the Chief Operating Officer of Baraka Bank, one of the leading financial institutions in South Africa. Baraka Bank recently hosted an exclusive business networking dinner at their prestigious head offices in Durban, which were graced by the presence of President Cyril Ramaphosa and other distinguished figures. Mr. Kaka will be sharing insights into this remarkable event and discussing Baraka Bank's role in fostering dialogue and collaboration within the business landscape and also with government. Mr. Kaka, thank you so much for joining us on Salam Media. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Salelu to you and to the listeners of Salam Media. And thank you very much for hosting us this afternoon.
Pleasure is all ours. First and foremost, could you give us a bit about, the significance of hosting such an exclusive business networking dinner at the head offices of Baraka Bank in Durban?
Thank you, Salelo. So just in terms of context, Baraka Bank is part of the International Chamber of Commerce, the Global International Chamber of Commerce, through the affiliation of Sheikh Yusuf Khalawi, who's the Sharia advisor on Baraka South Africa. And over the years, that relationship has resulted in us fostering a relationship with Minara Chamber of Commerce. And it's important as businesses in South Africa, as Muslim businesses in South Africa, that we actually support our chambers of commerce. Minara does some excellent work in terms of bringing the voice of Muslim businesses to government, in terms of ensuring that there's opportunities for Muslim businesses to grow. And with our affiliation now to the Islamic Chamber of Commerce, it allows for the spread and the growth of Islamic businesses globally. So we know we're in an electioneering month or in an electioneering period. And Minara approached Baraka on Friday, late Friday, to say that an opportunity existed to host His Excellency President Ramaphosa, with the opportunity of affording our clients and an opportunity of affording Minara chamber members the ability to interact with the presidency, with the leadership in KZN, and listen to them firsthand. What are the plans for the country going forward? To listen to businesses' queries and challenges in terms of growing the economy. And so, I think ultimately we all know we love our country and we want to see South Africa benefit. And for South Africa to benefit, one of the things that needs to happen, you need to have very strong economic ties. So that was the context of last night's dinner. We provided the facilities and the logistics for it. We assisted in terms of hosting, and we have had very, very positive feedback for the event.
Mm. The presence of the president, Mr. Ramaphosa, there undoubtedly adds prestige to any kind of event, and I'm sure securing him was a bit of a mission. Can you maybe take us through that process of how did you guys go about contacting him and making him part of this very, very important discussion?
So, Salelo, I think we can't take away that this has been an initiative from the provincial area. So the ANC provincial units wanted to give the access to the president to businesses. They led and initiated this event and approached us just as a host. So as easy as it sounds that we actually got access to him, I
Yeah.
think one needs to take into consideration that this is a president that wants to engage with his people. It is electioneering, it is a campaigning period, so we know that it needs to be taken in that context. But one has to acknowledge the leadership in the KZN side, in particular the gentleman that is in charge of economic development, Mr. Sibusiso Duma. So his unit, together with the PR person for KZN, approached Minara, approached the Muslim community. They wanted access to the Muslim community, and it was very much led from their side. They also, to be fair to them, decided that it would be best suited to allow for the president to have a networking engagement rather than just an electioneering speech and deliver a speech and move on to the next venue to sort of meet the rallies and the troops. So when the event became available to us, it was originally planned to be a much shorter event. And I think we were very grateful that the president gave an address. And over and above the address, they fielded questions from the audience, and then they still interacted with business leaders in the audience to be able to identify solutions for our lovely city of Durban, for our province of KZN, and ultimately for the country, to see how can we make this country grow and get better.
If you can maybe just briefly, let us into, the engagement itself. What were some of the key topics that were discussed during this dinner, particularly those, pertaining to, business and government and how you guys interact, looking at, the state of South Africa's economy. I mean, unemployment is at its highest. Our economy is not growing as fast as we would like it to. I'm sure those are some of the key topics that popped up when you're engaging with the president.
100%. I think obviously one cannot shy away from these issues. The issues with regards to economic development, the growth of employment, the issues around our medical, the state of hospitals and medical facilities in South Africa, and also the issue around corruption. I think when we look at it, the president went into discussing where the ANC principles are. He spoke about the initiatives that have been implemented in terms of job creation. He spoke about unemployment quite extensively, and the policies that are being implemented by the ruling party to address the situation with regards to employment. And one needs to take into consideration that when we look at where the country was 30 years ago and where we have come out, the numbers, whilst there will always be challenges, the numbers do speak in terms of growth. So I think in that regard, those plans were re-emphasized. The policies of the ruling party were re-emphasized. Obviously, we did find guests engaging. We had a very pertinent question with regards to whether this was just further promises or whether there is actually tangible evidence of renewal. And I think, in fairness to the president, he addressed the questions, he addressed the burning questions that were on hand, and he provided insights in terms of the policies that are currently being expounded in their manifesto that will align towards the improvement of the overall economy, to align towards improvement of the health sector, through the introduction of the national bill, the bill for the national health insurance. Something that the ruling party is very strong on in terms of inclusion in women, in their structures. All of those type of things have been were expanded on. The president went at length to talk about access to water. We know that many of the municipalities and the metros are facing challenges with regards to infrastructure, and in particular to eThekwini and our beloved city of Durban, the establishment of a working group. Now, we know that the current ruling party favors working groups, but to their advantage, these things have been working, and the president announced that the eThekwini working group has been established, and he also indicated that there will be other working groups established for other metros that have had similar issues with infrastructure in the rest of the country. So overall, a very positive feedback, a very sort of encouraging feedback from the presidency, from the leadership in KZN, indicating the reasons why the ANC would still be a party for businesses in the KZN area to support, especially in the election period.
Mm, mm. Engaging with the president, no matter at what level, it's a very rare opportunity. How was this engagement received by the local business community? And how did they respond to this opportunity of meeting with the first citizen of the country, so to say?
So, I think everyone enjoyed the fact that they had access to the president. It was my very first time when meeting the president on a face-to-face basis, and I think he doesn't carry on like many of the other presidents of the world that we know. He was very humbled. He had a very tight timeline. He had a number of engagements in the province. Yet he chose to partake with meals with people. He stood in a queue with the rest of the guests. We had a buffet side style event, and he ate and interacted with people. It was passing through to fill his plate. One of the guests asked for a selfie, and he actually stopped and took a selfie. So I think those type of things actually are quite nice, and it makes it very human in interacting with the person. It's not about just being nice. I think it's also about ensuring that there were tangible deliveries that were provided. It's not going to be easy. I don't believe that every promise that is made by every politician is something that is going to be fulfilled. But I think it is a party that, and he did deliver a very detailed plan in terms of what the ruling party has from its manifesto. So, Lelo, he did indicate to us, or his entourage did indicate to us, that he was going to spend about 15 minutes. He freed up over an hour in terms of his address to people. He
Mm,
took questions, he fielded questions, and I think those are qualities that one needs to take into consideration when you're dealing with a leader. So from that aspect, we were obviously very impressed by it, and it was very valuable for everybody that interacted. The reality of it is people were close and were given an opportunity to interact, and I think that was the most important part. It wasn't just a matter of saying come in, listen, and leave type of approach.
mm, mm. And from Baraka Bank itself, reflecting on the event, what are some of your key takeouts, and do you see this as something that could be ongoing when you foster those spaces for dialogues on very, very important issues, pertaining, the state and how the country is looking? Do you see yourself as being the front runners, as one of the institutions that are very key, when it comes to opening those kind of dialogues that can help the country come out to where it is right now, and move forward?
So, Salelo, I want to be very clear. We as a financial institution, are apolitical. We
Mm,
will not push the agenda of any political party. I think what we as Al Baraka stand for is, in our tagline, we are a partner bank. If an opportunity exists for our clients to interact with the leadership of the country, with the leadership of the province, to be able to answer the hard questions that are available in the market that need to be answered, because ultimately the economy helps everybody grow through. So we were very fortunate. We were very happy to be able to provide that opportunity to the ruling party and the presidents, and to our client base, and to the Minara Chamber of Commerce and their members, to be able to have this interaction. And I think if any opportunities arise again, to give people access to find ways for the economy to grow, Al Baraka will continue to support it. We have in the past, whether it was during the time of COVID, our participation in Giving for Hope Foundation, during the time of the looting in KZN, in terms of Project Rehop, anywhere where the economy can grow, where people's lives can improve, that is where Al Baraka would be involved. We are your partner bank. We have very tangible values, and part of development is the value that we share as an Al Baraka, and each and every employee of Al Baraka also shares that value. So we are a values-driven organization, where events, where activities align to our values, we will be there to support those initiatives.
And just lastly, before I let you go, a lot has been said about, the role of the private sector in, trying to, fix South Africa's economy and get us back on the right track. And also how sometimes it feels like there's a disconnect between government and the private sector. Do you feel like this event kind of, made business and both government understand where you guys should be meeting? And do you think, is it one of the things that came up very prominently when you're engaging with the president, where the responsibilities of private sector and of government also were highlighted on where exactly they intersect?
Definitely, Salelo. I think it's not one or the other. It is a combination, and it's items of these that will actually assist and help the country. At the end of the day, as citizens of this country, as businesses in the country, we want to see the country grow. We want to see the country improve. We want these items to result in a better life for all of us. And we want to also, as we have been with South Africa, assist in terms of improving the life and the quality of citizens across the globe, where we can play a global role as well. But we have to look at our city first, we have to look at our province, we have to look at our country. And last night's event allowed our clients and members of the Minara Chamber of Commerce to interact with the ruling party, to hold them accountable, to be able to ask the difficult questions, and to be able to then understand where their role would be in terms of supporting growth in the economy and supporting the business and the country growing as a whole.
I think we're going to leave it there, Mohammed. Thank you so much for giving us your time, and I really, really appreciate Al Baraka Bank fostering these kind of engagements.
Soledo, thank you very much, and we value our partnership with Salam Media,
I
and thank you
appreciate it.
for
Yeah.
hosting us and giving us an opportunity to discuss last night's event.
Thank you so much that you have it there. Mohamed Kaka, COO of Al Baraka Bank, giving us insight on Sunday night's engagement with President Cyril Ramaphosa, where, it was an exclusive networking dinner, if you want to put it that way. Very, very insightful. We're going to leave it here from me, Salailo, and the rest of the team is goodbye.